If you paid $200 a month for a premium AI subscription last year, you probably expected a flawless product. Instead, users were burning through their daily quotas in just 19 minutes, repeatedly complaining that the software felt like it was getting worse. When the model gave bad answers, people assumed it was a software bug, but the code was fine. The AI was being physically rationed. Exponential user demand had slammed into a very finite supply of hardware. Rival labs watched this happen and openly celebrated. A leaked memo from a competitor called Anthropic's inability to secure processing power a strategic misstep, claiming they operated on a meaningfully smaller curve. This chart shows how fragile the system was. The rising line is user demand, hitting the flat line of hard-capped capacity. To prevent crashes, they throttled customers. Demand repeatedly slams into the ceiling during peak hours, dropping safely only at night. Writing better code couldn't fix this. In the modern AI arms race, solving a software problem requires securing billions of dollars in physical infrastructure. On May 6th, the bottleneck broke. Anthropic announced sudden exclusive access to a massive data center known as Colossus 1, located in Memphis, Tennessee. The strange part of this deal was the landlord. This flagship facility was built and operated by xAI, the direct competitor owned by Elon Musk. The sheer scale of the hardware is staggering. Over 300 megawatts of power and 220,000 top-tier processors coming online within a single month. To survive, Anthropic had to strike a deal with a direct competitor. They solved their greatest strategic vulnerability by literally renting out their rival's main engine. The Memphis facility serves as the final hardware layer for a massive $80 billion portfolio involving Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and FluidStack. This chart shows the new hierarchy of AI processing power. Anthropic bypassed almost every lab, securing the second-largest compute stockpile globally, behind only Microsoft and OpenAI. The results were immediate. Rate limits doubled, peak-hour throttling vanished, and developer access scaled by 1,500%. In a single quarter, Anthropic went from rationing output to operating with a massive surplus. By securing the physical hardware they lacked, they solidified a valuation projected at up to $500 billion, right as they moved toward a planned IPO. But securing processors is only half the battle. You can own 1 million graphics cards, but they are completely useless if you don't have the electricity to turn them on. By 2027, the industry will hit what analysts call the grid cliff. Our terrestrial power grids are simply maxing out their physical capacity to support any more of these massive data centers. Tech companies are already scrambling, scouting the globe for rare pockets of available energy in places like Iceland and the UAE. Raw electricity is now the ultimate bottleneck for artificial intelligence. The physical wiring of the Earth is a strict, unyielding limit. Sustaining the current rate of our technological growth requires an entirely different approach to generating and consuming power. This is why the final detail of the May 6th announcement was the most extreme. Anthropic declared their intent to work with SpaceX to build multi-gigawatt AI data centers in orbit. Deploying servers in space bypasses the terrestrial grid entirely. Above the atmosphere, data centers can harvest continuous solar energy without clouds or weather getting in the way. The freezing vacuum of space solves the massive cooling problem that plagues Earthbound facilities, while existing high-speed satellite networks can beam the processed data right back down to terrestrial users. While deploying multi-gigawatt hardware to space is a speculative project slated for the 2030s, the intent alone proves these labs are seriously planning for the day when Earth runs out of room. The severe rationing users experienced over the last 10 months was a preview of a much larger physical crisis. To keep scaling the future of artificial intelligence, humanity will inevitably have